Out at NicoletLaw.com. A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook and on the free Odyssey app.
High noon and welcome in. This is the Mason Crosby Show. Mitch Nellis, Mason Crosby, Brandon Snide is here. Welcome in on this Tuesday as he is ready to drive 700,000 miles today. Mason, how you doing, buddy?
I am a road warrior. I think I've officially crossed into that. Sure. I'm going. So I drove 12 hours to and from, so 24 hours round trip to Texas.
Yep.
Going to do probably close to that here, coming to Wisconsin because it's about 10 and a half to
well,
to
you're
Green
going to Green Bay. Like Milwaukee, you have to go like that next hour and a half.
Oh, yeah. And then we're going to go up to Minocqua. And then we're going to come back down to Beloit and then do Grand Geneva. And then
by the way, Beloit's not right around the corner. In case you live in Green Bay or you visit Minocqua or Eagle River or Rhineland, or Beloit's not right around the corner. Beloit is like Rockford, basically.
Yeah, seriously. Any truckers out there, if anyone's listening, driving a truck, just let me know, how long till I qualify for my trucking license, or do I need to get that at this point?
Ooh,
I should get a CB radio. I need to be out there talking to the guys. It's the men and women of the roads as I'm going through this thing.
This is big leg driving around
Exactly.
Wisconsin. I got big leg. I'm looking for large Marge. Large Marge on the road.
We call the van Polar Express. So we got the Polar Express coming down the road. So yeah. I'm hauling. It's like I got kids and dogs. I got luggage. Oh man, we're packed to the gills.
How is estimated time of departure looking? Who's packed? Who's not packed? Who's in charge of packing? How's that going, Mace?
ETD, if we want to call it the time of departure, is not looking good for after the show. But
okay.
Molly, the kids, they're going to be working through these next couple hours.
And Molly's the best, and she's listening right now, and she knows she's the best. And we're telling her
crushes
that she's the best.
it.
Yeah.
But we got about 14 other things we're juggling as well, as it's trying to get out of the house. But got the kids there. So we're packing basically for 3 separate moments in this trip. And so I think all the kids, we put their stuff in these little packing cubes.
Yes, we do. We're
going to pack different bags.
Well. Yeah.
So the kids are packed. They have their stuff together. We just got to put them in the bags, get them in the car, load up. So if I got out of here by 3:30, I think
that's doable. So Mace, last night we had Big Rumble get home from 3 weeks away in Pennsylvania, and we've got Little Rumble leaving tomorrow to go to Eagle River for 4 weeks. And they usually have their own packing cubes, but because the trips were different, there was some sharing. So Big Rumble had to immediately get everything into the laundry, even the packing cubes, get those turned around for this morning so that Little Rumble could finish packing. So there was a lot of moving parts. As you know, it's always
flip is always tough, but I can't wait to get to Wisconsin. And then, let's dive into this thing.
Let's go.
Big night last night, home run derby. And, I know there's been fights in Vegas. Teams being sold. So, we have a lot of things we got to get to on this Tuesday.
We really do. He's Mason Crosby, Brandon Snide, Mitch Nellis here. And let's start things off with the home run derby. I don't know if you watched all of it. I was kind of in and out. Flowers for Jordan Walker, not happy a Cardinal won. But I will also say, before we get into the semantics of it all, I loved Philly crowd booing everyone. I love that passion. I am here for it. I hate Philly, but I enjoyed that they booed everybody to pump up their guys. I like that aspect of sports.
Yeah. I mean, do you think there would be any other, we didn't expect anything else, right?
No, but other cities, right. No, but other cities, when the home run derby, if it was in Milwaukee last night, there's polite applause. There's some smattering of boos for the Cardinal. There's boos big time for Contreras because we don't like him. But in general, it's not like you're not booing everyone out of the building just to pump your guys up. That is a Philly special right there.
Yeah, and then obviously they have their hometown guy right there on the cusp of winning the whole thing. And yes, a Cardinal winning it stinks, but I don't know if you want someone from Philly winning it.
That's true
in
too.
that play, because then you just hurt the Philly fans even a little bit more. So I'm here for all of it. I love all that. It felt like just I don't know. I do like the home run derby, and I think it's an awesome part of the All-Star game, and it's a piece of an All-Star game that I'm always on board for, unlike some of the other things. And we talk about this all the time. NBA, the NFL All-Star stuff, like this, Pro Bowl stuff is a joke now. Like it's just kind of like, what are they doing? The home run derby is here to stay, and it's always, always awesome.
Mitch, you bring up a good point. You said Jordan Walker because he's a Cardinals fan. This is for both of you guys. Are you not big? I'm not a Cardinals fan, but I don't really care for the Cardinals. Like they don't bother me.
I'm a little bit of a Cardinals hater.
You just don't even care.
Like I hated the Cardinals when it was La Russa and Molina.
I did too.
Like they were bad guys.
That's turned though, right? Because like they
turned
haven't been really. I wouldn't say relevant, but the Cubs for me are in that category because number one, everything sucks about Chicago, and number two, Craig Counsell.
No, you make a good point, and I guess I should clarify. I'm less happy with Jordan Walker winning it because it means somebody from the Cardinals is really good. That's fair. I think that's a challenge for the Brewers that the Brewers will have to overcome over the next 8 to 10 years. Walker's going to be there. I'm not wishing. I don't wish ill on the Cardinals, but Mason, I like to see, I don't want my rivals to be especially good because that makes it harder for the Brewers to succeed if the Cardinals are better.
Yeah, but I'm not overly worried about the Cardinals being that good. Just
not this year. Not this year.
Home run,
I think it's more about the future.
Yeah, but I'm not even looking at it that way. I think it's just like whenever you are playing, it'd be like a Bears player, or Vikings player, and anything, a Lions player doing something well as a Packers fan. It's just they're in your division, you just don't care for them, right? Like there's other teams that you feel that way, but the divisional opponents, regardless of their success, what they have or haven't been, just don't want to see any success on that side of things. Yeah. And again, a home run hitter, I'm like, okay, cool. He's going to get a few at bats in a game. Like it doesn't really matter. The Brewers seem to have the Cardinals number right now. And so I'm here for it, but always want to see division rivals go down and just kind of, I would have liked to see a Cardinals player kind of, crap the bed in a sense.
Well, but now
in the end, I think having him step up is like, you're like, gosh, like I don't like that.
But now the hope is, and again, without wishing ill specifically on people, we've seen guys win the home run derby and it messes with their swing in the second half. Like, not that I want Jordan Walker to do badly, but I don't want him to succeed, especially against the Brewers. I do want him to succeed against the Cubs. Like when they play the Cubs, I want him to hit all his home runs.
True.
But then I do want him to struggle against the Brewers. We'll see how this affects him. A young player in the home run derby, that does change things a little bit. Brandon, what do you got?
Would you guys right now, Mason, Mitch, rather have Garrett Mitchell?
That's the question, isn't it?
Or Jordan Walker?
All right, so Mason, they were picked back-to-back in the first round.
That's interesting.
The Brewers took Mitchell over Walker at, I think, 21st overall.
They took Mitchell 20.
20, okay.
Yep.
And then Jordan Walker was taken 21st overall by the Cardinals, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, something like that. Would you I mean, right now, it's hard not to say Jordan Walker. As good of a renaissance as Garrett Mitchell has had this year. But this year, it's closer than you'd think. I think Walker's still a little bit ahead based on his home run power.
Well, a home run hitter like that, yes. Yeah. Like if you're looking at truly just like the power at the bat with what this Brewers team needs at times, like yes, Walker would have been a much better selection at this moment. But I think Garrett Mitchell is like all around, like who knows? You don't know yet, but all around he might be a better baseball player. So I don't mind the Garrett Mitchell pick there, but
I don't mind it either.
But this team Brewers need a bat. They need a bat.
Yeah. 414-677-1250. Did you watch the home run derby? Do you care about the home run derby? Mason, I liked the new format. We talked about it a little bit on the morning show, the Wisconsin Wake Up Call with Josh. I was on it this morning with him. And the fact that I don't know if you remember the past couple of years in the home run derby when they had the clock, like they would pitch, a guy would hit, and then the next pitch would come immediately. The ball wouldn't even land yet. and the next pitch is already being thrown. So sometimes like the kids in the outfield, like there's more than one ball going out. There's balls going into the stands. I liked that you got to watch each pitch and see what was going to happen.
Sorry, you went out for just 1 sec, but I think all everything that goes on in the home run derby is awesome. And I don't know. Like, do you like that they can look at so many pitches? Do you think there should be like a pitch count where you have to swing at certain things, or does it matter? Like, is there a number of pitches that they get, or it's just swings, right?
If a machine was pitching, like our 6 to 8 year olds playing Pee Wee League, if a machine was pitching the same pitch every time, I think there should be an X number amount of times you get to look at it. I think because it is your pitching coach and because there's the human element, I don't want guys swinging at bad pitches. Like, I don't want them swinging at pitches out of the zone. I didn't feel like it got bogged down with too many, even when they took 2 or 3 in a row. Like, I feel like the evening was moving. I did not feel like we got bogged down. I didn't feel like it went too long. And part of it, again, I'll give credit to Philly crowd. Philly's crowd emotion kept that evening going with their cheering and their booing in a way that many other parks wouldn't do. And I'm hoping future parks emulate that and have hometown guys in the home run derby. And so that we can see, again, that passion, because I think that was part of the energy that kept the evening moving. If it had been a dead crowd, it might have felt like it dragged.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been as exciting. Like, they need to have you have to always have like a hometown player in a home run derby. Yeah, I think that's a must. But think about that. Like, if it ever came to Milwaukee, like, who would represent Milwaukee? Like,
Terrain,
do you have
Bowers,
to qualify?
Chirrio?
Yeah, I mean, like, how do they select? Is just the top home run hitters in the league right now?
That's who they ask, and then if guys say yes or no,
they say yes or no.
But all 8 of them are all-stars. So technically,
I have to be an all-star.
I think and I think that's the question: is moving forward, do you have to be an all-star, or if it's hometown? Like, again, if it was in Milwaukee and professional hitter Bill Contreras said no, could he say, "But I want Bryson, or I want Jackson in," or something like that?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Because you have to have somebody from the hometown. Because like you said, I think the energy makes it so much better.
Wrigley,
if
Wrigley
there's
Field
no
next
skin
year,
in the game.
Wrigley Field next year, by the way.
Okay.
So so whether it's Bregman or Suzuki or whoever their home run hitter is, but it's right there. We might have to make a little road trip. We might have to do a little Brewer sneak attack.
Yeah, I'd go to the home run derby, but I don't know if I really want to watch the All-Star game all that much.
All right, I do have to vent for 1 second. This is the Mason Crosby Show. You're watching us on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter on the Growth Law stream. Growth Gets It. That's GROTH, Growth Law. I went in 2002 when Milwaukee hosted it, and I sat in the left field bleachers, and every home run was in the section to the right of me or the section to the left of me. It was like my section had a magnet that almost no balls came to. And it was infuriating because.
And how many home runs are hit through the whole derby?
1,000,000.
So you're just sitting there like, how in the world?
None to our section. It was
does
crazy.
One not come? Yeah, that's crazy.
It was nuts. All right. So you talked about football and we've talked about basketball. We all know growing up, and you remember this in the 80s and 90s, the dunk contest used to mean something.
Yeah.
Doesn't really anymore.
Gosh.
I would argue
it used to be so good.
Yeah, I know. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I would argue the 3-point contest is still pretty decent because you get the best shooters in the guys with the higher percentage win. Whether it's Dame Lillard or I'm excited to see what Con Knipple does in the future.
Sure.
You've got the top 3-point shooters, so the guys who are best at it doing that. Did you ever get into the football skills competition? Were you ever interested in that? Did that ever catch your interest when it was whether it was the longest throw or the targets for the quarterbacks or I don't even know what the other ones were, but I know there was a bunch of different skills competitions.
Yeah, I think some of that's fun. I think the skills competition in my mind is better than some of the goofy dodgeball and the stuff that they do that doesn't even relate to the sport that they play. But I do like when the quarterbacks are throwing at moving targets and they're hitting like the deep throws and all of those things. Like those are fun. When Brett Favre did the long throw competition.
Yes.
Like that stuff is awesome. I think those things are great because it just shows it's outside of the norm of playing the game, but it shows arm strength. It shows some of their talent displayed there. I know whenever I came out of college, I went and did like a kicking skills challenge thing.
Okay.
Which was kind of annoying. And I think I told you this. I got really almost got hurt and was pretty like it was bad for what I was trying to do. Some guy was filming, and instead of using the zoom on the camera, he like moved underneath me.
Not okay.
And when I went to kick, I kicked the front of the camera off on my downswing. And I'm like,
insane.
I freaked out on the guy, and I'm usually pretty calm. Like, I was just like, what? No. He's like, you broke my camera. I'm like, you know how much my foot got? Like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like,
With all due respect to
I'm trying to go to the NFL. Yeah.
Look at my career.
Don't you have zoom on your camera? Like, he's like, but it wouldn't have looked as good. I'm like, you're an idiot. Like, get out of here. So some of those things, it gets a little goofy. And so, but I do think the skills challenge, I think the NBA is lost in their all-star stuff. I think like in their all-star weekend. I think the NFL, it is what it is, like, just because it's right there before the Super Bowl. But
the NHL actually has some pretty cool stuff
because they
do the fastest skater, and they'll skate around the rink once, and that's like in milliseconds. These guys are so fast. But then they also have like the target practice, and it was always kind of fun, like when they had the 5 different targets in the goal. Like that's cool to see who could do that. I was actually wondering with your football stuff when you were doing those kicks, did they have like targets you were trying to hit, or was it X amount of field goals, or like if they put up like a 3-pointer and a 5-pointer and a 1-pointer like around the uprights, could you nail that number? Could you hit?
Yeah, like I think they had like quadrants where you had to hit, and then it was like timed. So then it was like get 5 kicks off in a timed manner, and then you had to like run around at different distances. I know they're in like the Pro Bowl event. They do that. Like they do like tic-tac-toe, right? Where you're trying to hit in the different quadrants, which I think that's fun.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with what,
right. No.
Kicking. Because literally our job is you try to kick it right down the middle as high and as far as you can. Like, so that's counterintuitive, but it's fun.
That's why it's a fun competition.
Yeah,
it's not supposed to emulate what's going on. 262 writes in, I don't love the Cardinals either, but I'll take Jordan Walker over Kyle Schwarber. Schwarber was a Cub. Enough said. So we did have some of that sentiment. T in Lacrosse says he could not stomach when Walker was taking a timeout every other pitch, it seemed like. And I agree, there were a few too many timeouts, but I still feel like it flowed. And again, I give credit to the crowd. I thought the energy of the crowd did that. Scotty Tiffany says, I watched the Derby, but I only really paid attention during the finals. And I agree with that, Mace. I thought the Derby was fun to have on. I don't think it needed to be something that like you were sitting down and focused on. It was kind of nice. I liked the energy from the television broadcast that I didn't need to be focused on.
They have to entertain around it because it is like it gets a little tedious. You're just like, all right, they're doing the same thing over and over again. It's fun when they crank one. Honestly, the best home run derbies were whenever it was the Royd era.
Yes.
The Barry Bonds and the McGuire
and Sosa.
I mean, literally hitting it off the like top deck. I mean, that was
that
insanity.
2002 one that I was talking about in Milwaukee. It was Sosa and Jason Giambi.
That's right. That was the
like, and they were like, I mean, talk about roids and corked bats.
Corked bats, I know. But yeah, like for me, the home run derby was like I watched a little bit live, and then you just watch the highlights. I think the highlights, that covers most of it, and you get to kind of see the little bit of drama that happened at the end there. But I agree. I think the last thing that got me with the Walker stuff at the end.
Yeah. Are you going to say what I was going to say?
I just don't. Well, it was like
maybe not.
He took like 3 pitches, right? And like for me, some of that I'm like there needs to be.
But then he hit 6 in a row.
A pitch count, I guess, like where you can only see one in between, like in between a swing. But I don't know.
Yeah, I like because like when you're doing in a home run derby, you should be able to just like focus on a zone. You're not looking if it's high or low or whatever. Like you're just looking for that one pitch, and if it's not that pitch, you let it go. Carrie says, stop comparing Mitchell and Walker. Even with injuries, Mitchell has been better overall. Debatable. I know, Walker hasn't really.
I don't think it's debatable.
You don't think it's debatable?
No.
Really?
No, his WAR far exceeds Jordan Walker.
Career-wise?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Even with Mitchell's injuries.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we'll see.
So I think Garrett Mitchell's a better all-around player.
Jordan Walker just started hitting the ball.
I know. He was terrible. I mean,
he was
listen,
struggling.
During the offseason, I think Sparky was saying, go trade for Jordan Walker. Like he somehow saw that like this might turn into something. But Tian Lacrosse comes in. If Gary Sanchez was in the home run derby, he'd be tapping his helmet. That's hilarious. Gary Sanchez is the king of hitters. Hitters, stop tapping your helmet. Okay, let the catcher do it. You're going to be wrong so much more often than the catcher is. Just like don't even.
Or Gary, just don't do it. Gary,
right?
Period.
Gary's the
never
worst.
do it.
Yeah. Did you see the Peralta one, like where he tapped on like an ABS challenge, and I mean it was like almost a foot outside the zone.
Yeah,
and he
the
ends up
Peralta
walking.
That was insane.
Yeah. I mean that was insane. I'm like,
the catcher looked down immediately. Did you see the catcher's reaction?
Does he know like where he's trying to throw the ball?
Like
if he thought that was the zone,
it was at the guy's chin.
Yeah, that was a bad look.
Yeah, it was. He's Mason Crosby. He's Brandon Snide. I'm Mitch Nelson, aka Thunder. Plenty still to get to today. We're going to talk about how to best use time off. Like the Brewers have time off right now. Mason Crosby's going to tell us what a bye in the NFL was like and how best to use your time there. I know Mason really wants the Charizard glove that Miz has.
Ooh, that is nice.
So we'll get to that. We'll get to salary cap. We'll get to World Cup semis. We'll get to Tyler Hero. We'll get to the Seattle Seahawks are worth what? This is the Mason Crosby Show.
Crazy.
This is the Mason Crosby Show. Mitch Nellis, Brandon Snide, and Mason Crosby here with you. You know it's dad season when you're about to drive 47 hours with your kids.
Yeah, for sure.
Dad
season's in full force right now.
At what point, Nolan's 15 or 16? 15?
He's 15, yeah.
So he gets his license when he's 16. At what point will you trust him to drive the Polar Express and you'll just take a nap in the back seat? Or maybe you'll sit shotgun. Maybe
we did some of that. On the way across from Texas.
Okay.
So he drove for about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours.
Be admitting that on the radio?
He's 15 with his permit.
I know, but permit might be state only.
That's legal.
I don't think it's legal.
We were in Tennessee.
Were you all right?
Yeah.
And we're all right.
No, it was like at the end of the trip.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And how'd it go?
Relax.
All right.
By the book, Mitch.
Yeah,
no, listen.
Oh, it went great. Yeah.
Big Rumble had, we went to Florida a couple times and Big Rumble did what she needed to do.
Florida has no rules.
That is true. The free state
Florida
of Florida
has no rules.
The free state of Florida, except for when you disagree with them, and then it's not free at all. Mason, doesn't make any sense to me.
Mason, I have a question for you. I apologize if we're jumping the segment here because I have 5 kids at home and I try to avoid the road trips. How often are you guys stopping for breaks?
My kid, I have an advantage with the vehicle and the conversion van with a TV in the back and all the stuff. So honestly, we've done it enough. The kids are they're road like warriors. There are times where they're locked in on stuff that I have to stop before like they've even asked. So if we time it right, do that. I mean, we're probably, and I like to stop I can't go more than 2 to 3, 2.5 hours. Like, I just think it's not good for the body or for anybody. So I'm stopping every 2.5 hours or so on average and just kind of, stretching the legs, moving around, even if it's like a, 5-10 minute stop, filling up gas, go to the bathroom, things like that. So I don't try to push it too hard with the kids just because, and for me, I've seen too many things. Like, honestly, I'm scared of like stuff I've heard. Like we had a friend in Green Bay and I don't know if it was seemingly related. They drove a long road trip, just long stint, was, drinking energy drinks. I don't know what happened. Got home, laid down. I think a blood clot got him.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So,
that's awful.
Awful thing. And I literally have that like in the back of my mind. I'm like, I'm getting up and stretching and my legs are tired. I'm getting up and moving.
We got some stuff to get to, but I know we got a caller and we got a great message on YouTube we want to get to. But do you guys mind if I overshare for just 1 second?
Yeah, go for it.
So for you, I only have 2 kids. I need to get 3 more apparently.
Yeah, we're the 5-kid club.
Right.
I mean, we just upped our amount of kids.
Leaving Tommy, who is a kid, to Brandon, who's got 5 kids and 2 more on the way. Probably.
No,
12. No, we're done. Yeah,
12 in this crew right here. That's
so we used to stop a lot, but the girls are 16 and 13 now, and so they actually do better than I do. And as someone of a certain age who has entered a certain prostate size. I end up being the one who stops more than anybody else, and I hear it. I hear it from Mrs. Thunder and the girls. They're like, "Oh, Dad, how's your enlarged prostate?" I'm like, "Great, this is fantastic. Thank you."
Well, it's tough when you're driving too, and it's like if you have coffee, if you're like trying to stay alert and awake,
exactly.
And then you're like, "Oh man, I crossed that line where I drank a little too much." And we're only an hour and a half into this loop here, and it's like, oh gosh, I got to go.
So I try to like take sips as opposed to like drinking like the whole, because I could drink an iced coffee in 2 seconds.
There's a preparation.
Yeah, you got to go. You slow and ease into it, right?
It's like prepping for a game. You have to get your mind right. So Brandon, you fly with the kids, or do y'all just not take a lot of trips?
No, we do, Mason, but we try to avoid the road trips because it just gets way too expensive for us.
The road trips too.
The road trips get expensive
because we don't have the van, so it turns into 2 vehicles. Essentially. Two vehicles, double the gas, and then it's the food on the way. So I mean, flying isn't cheap either. Like nothing's cheap, as you guys know.
Well, ours is that it's the rental car on the way and the trip. Like I did the math on this, and I was just like, I mean, I can drive up even if we have to break it up and stay a night in a hotel.
Still,
and the gas, I'm like, with all of that expense saved. I mean, it's. Like I was just looking at it, just flights and the rental car. I mean, we're going to be $5,000 to $6,000 on just like just coming up to Wisconsin and doing, popping around and doing stuff. And I was like, I'll just drive it.
And then your car's there.
I like having the van.
Yeah.
Having the van is a game changer. Whenever we get there, the trips can be tough, but it does save the day on our.
If any local Wisconsin companies would like to sponsor the Brandon Snide family with a conversion van.
Exactly. There you go.
Let's go to the phone lines. Ken's in the Falls. Ken, you're up on the Mason Crosby Show.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Yeah, hey, road trips. The fun part about road trips are the stops. You got to make stops, especially like you said, if you're drinking coffee or water, whatever. Even me, I travel all over the state on a regular basis and the Midwest. So it's a lot of fun. The killer is when you get up into Canada, when I go up there hunting and fishing, some of the roads you get on, there are no gas stations for hours. So you better know where you're going and how you're getting there in terms of that, because you have no idea what you're in for until you get up there. And I've been traveling up there for almost 3 decades. So you really got to be prepared for everything, and don't travel the roads at night up in Canada, people. They're dangerous.
Wow.
A lot of moose, a lot of bear.
Okay.
Yeah. Not just deer. I assume a bear makes a different type of impression on your car than a deer does. Yeah. And we all know deers mess up your car. So a bear, I can only imagine.
Well, there's a lot of bear in northern Wisconsin, too, so you got to be careful when you're up there, especially towards evening and early morning. So, yeah, they do, but not nearly as much as a moose.
That's what I was going to say. I'd rather hit a bear than a moose. A moose with their long leg, that thing's going through the windshield as soon as you hit that thing. So that's going to be brutal.
That's a bad deal. But what I wanted to talk about, just 2 quick things. One, with the home run derby, I'm surprised they didn't use some of their juiced baseballs to really jazz up the
they could have.
To really
yeah.
Torpedo bats and juice balls. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there was no 500-foot shots. And I don't know if you remember this, Mitch, but probably about 2 decades ago when they had the top 6 softball players in the world, when they went to 8 different stadiums and they were hitting softballs out of the stadiums, they came to Miller Park.
Yep.
And some of the shots those guys hit pre these new bats, right? They were still using aluminum bats.
Right.
500-plus foot shots out of Miller Park. And these are big dudes. And then they had, of course, probably the best pitcher that ever played the game, Rick Weiderman. And he was out there. They specifically asked for him, Wisconsin's very own. So he did a great job. But one other thing, Mason, you talked about field goal kicking, right?
Yep.
There is a place in central Wisconsin. It's still there. It's called Hans Honolulu in Fremont. They would have a field goal kicking contest at halftime. They had a field set up with the goalpost out to 50 yards. And you kicked off a tee. You didn't kick off the ground, so it's kind of like cheating. But it was still pretty impressive. I mean,
that's still impressive. I couldn't do it.
And, you would have, though. You got to kick one. Everybody got one practice kick, and then you started.
Yeah,
and you started from 10 yards and went out to 50. I missed a 50-yarder wide left and lost to another dude that hit it right down the middle.
Oh man. So you were in the final. All right.
We're going to call you the leg. Ken, we're going to call you the leg.
No. I still like the beer count. I'll stick to that because I enjoy making those stops on road trips. And especially when I'm fishing. Mason, when you're fishing, you got to have a cold beverage.
Yeah, I don't think you can catch anything without one. That's it's like a grilling, playing bags, fishing. You have to have one or nothing's going to happen. Doesn't even count. Yeah.
Are you going to be up in northern Wisconsin at the end of the month? Your guy Steves and that whole crew for the Flamberama in Park Falls. You should make a showing up there.
I won't be there that late, but I will be popping into Minocqua on Thursday. So look for a Mason Crosby sighting up there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, head a little further north, and the cabin's just up the road, Manitowish Waters. The best fishing right there is on the Flambeau Flowage. So
there you go.
All right.
Kenny, thanks
20
for
minutes north.
Yep. Beer count Kenny drops off, and if you are in Minocqua on Thursday, make sure you wave to the Crosbys.
Yeah,
the whole gaggle will be up there.
We'll probably hit all our spots. We'll go to the Thirsty Whale, the Brown Jug. Oh man, the Brown Jug. You would like that bar. That place is awesome. It's got dollar bills all over.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, they just staple them. You sign them. I got one right behind the bar, I think, and unless it's been taken down or stolen at some point.
Well, that dollar with your signature is worth at least $1.50. I mean, come on now.
I don't think so.
No. All right. I don't. Or you could go to jail for defacing a dollar bill.
Gosh,
that
man.
is a federal offense.
I did not know that. Mitch is like law-abiding rule follower.
Careful what
today.
you say around him.
I'm not saying anything else. I'm not gonna.
The blue.
You can trust me, Mason. It's only day 2 with me, but I promise you,
I've indicted myself twice today.
Paul wants to know.
Self-incrimination.
Paul wants to know on the YouTube channel, if the Brewers could trade for a hitter, would you prefer a power hitter or a great contact hitter, like a guy who's going to hit over 300 and not strike out? If yes, who would you like to get, and who do you think we would need to give up? Paul and Kenosha. I don't have names. Like, that's Matt Arnold's job.
Yeah.
Like, but I agree. I want a power hitter, and now I don't want a 220 hit a home run or strike out, and that's it.
For sure.
I don't want that. But 250, like, it doesn't have to be a 300 guy. But if you could bring in a guy right now and tell me over the last 66 games he's going to hit 20 home runs, that changes this lineup drastically.
Yeah, I don't think this roster needs another guy that's going to hover around 300 and just, kind of nickel and dime you all over and just get guys on bases. Like, you need somebody, and they have a couple guys that are, showing some of that, but I totally agree. If there's someone out there that they feel like can get you 20 home runs at the end of the season, go and get that guy right now for sure.
I'd call up Andrew Fisher right now and plug him in at
third
base.
Dude, he would strike out every time.
Who cares? He's also going to hit you 20 homers.
I don't think he is. I don't think he is at the major league level. I just don't think
Did
he
you
is.
have the same thoughts with Kyle Schwarber? Because Kyle Schwarber had a higher strikeout rate than Andrew Fisher currently does.
And Kyle Schwarber, for a long time, either struck out or hit home runs. It took him a while to become Kyle Schwarber. I want the Brewers to win the World Series this year, and I don't think Andrew Fisher is helping them win the World Series this year.
No, but it'd be fun.
That I will not disagree with. It would be fun because he is a monster, no doubt about it. All right, real quick before we get to break, Mason, the Brewers have a week off essentially, and take us into the mindset of like the grind. Football is a little bit different, of course, playing once a week, but you are practicing most days, or you're in meetings all day when you're not practicing. You get 1 day off a week. Tell us about like that grind, and then actually getting 4 days off, 5 days off, whatever that might be, depending on the week and when you're playing your next game.
I mean, during an NFL season, it's just, it's beautiful. I mean, that is like you have that circled on the calendar. Okay, let's just lock in, get to that moment, and then you can literally check out a little bit, at least mentally for a while. Like, you have to stay physically ready for the season. Like, you can't fully check out physically, but I think the mental load, and I can't imagine what it is in a Major League Baseball season with all these games, all this time, like 4 days off in the middle of a Major League Baseball season has to feel like 3 weeks, right? Like, in their minds, they just have to feel like they have so much time because they're maybe getting a day off in between games on a regular basis. So I think for them, it's like, okay, you can get your mind, your body a little focused, but I'm sure some of them, they're getting out, they're moving, they're doing things to stay fresh and stay prepared. But I do think for me, it was always more of a mental break than a physical break, and just trying to get that mind ready for that next little stretch. And if you do that properly, if you take that mental strain and that pressure load off of you, it can pay dividends for that last little stretch there for sure. So I hope these guys are just taking that load off. Even if you just get out of town a little bit, do something different than what you do on a regular basis, that kind of stuff can really help through the process.
I'm excited to see what this means for Jake Bauers, who's having a career year, Bryce Terang, who's coming into his own as one of the best players, Jackson Chourio, who missed the first month but has been great basically the entire year, but then Garrett Mitchell, who's played more games than he's ever played before in his career. I'm interested to see how all these guys get affected. By the way, for the record, Jake Bauers on pace for 30 home runs, Bryce Terang on pace for 23 home runs, Jackson Chourio is on pace for 22 home runs, but if he had played a whole season, he's actually on pace for 34.
Yeah.
So Jackson Chourio is 30. Like, the fact that he's only played 62 games, he's played 29 games less than Bryce Terang and has one less home run. Like, he's basically caught up to Bryce Terang, which is pretty cool to see.
Didn't we say before the season though? Like, we were like, if Terang got 20 home runs,
20 was our number.
we feel really good about that.
Yeah, and we should. He's already at 14.
Yeah. So
he's on pace for 23, 24 home runs. He's got 15 stolen bases, so we'll see. He'll get over 20. I don't know that he'll get to 30 again.
For me, this not getting the All-Star call by Terang and like this timing, I think this could be huge for Bryce Terang.
Get that chip on your shoulder. Right?
Yeah, I think this, like, we hopefully, in my mind, Bryce Terang's who I'm going to look at after this All-Star break to be the guy that kind of like switches gears, because he's been a little off the last month, month and a half, where it's just like he has a good game. He's just inconsistent for what he normally is.
Yeah.
So like I'm gonna look at Bryce Terang to have, like you said, have that chip on his shoulder. I didn't get an All-Star call up. How I started the season, it looked like it was a guarantee, right?
Yep.
And he fell off. So he could get on a heater here, and who knows? I mean, hit 25, 26 home runs. Like,
this is when he got hot last year.
Yeah,
in the second, right after the All-Star.
I think this is Bryce Terang times coming up after this All-Star.
I love that. From your mouth to God's ears, Mason.
Exactly.
This is the Mason Crosby Show. We got plenty more to get to. We've got soccer. We've got more baseball. We've got basketball. We've got football. Paul in Kenosha says, to the guy in Manitosh Waters, that's Count Kenny, my nephew and his wife run a campground up there. Very nice. And he agrees, a power hitter. We need power. It's the Mason Crosby Show.
Power.
Mace, I feel like we just listened to this whole song. We just let this whole song run, right?
The rest of the show, yeah.
Just like play it on a loop. I mean, if you don't love this song, you don't love life, right?
Would this be your go-to karaoke song?
The Humpty Dance is actually my go-to.
That's yours.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Nice.
I'll drink up all the Hennessy you got on the shelf. So just let me introduce myself.
Of course, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Or I also love Tearing Up My Heart by NSYNC.
Ooh,
yep,
that's
a
good
classic.
One.
Yeah. I mean, I could do literally any song on karaoke. There are no songs I don't know by heart.
My brothers and I did the thong song one time. And my mom was not impressed.
Scandalous.
Yeah, my mom wasn't impressed.
Can't handle this. Looking at like who's the dish? Looking at so devilish. I mean, that's a great one, right?
Yeah.
That's an all-timer.
That was college. That was in college, and then like, yeah, I
did you guys crush it? Did you guys crush it?
Oh, we crushed it. We crushed it.
That is awesome. Thong song coming up by the Crosby Boys. This is the Mason Crosby Show. Mitch Nellis, Brandon Snide, and Mason Crosby are here. We got all sorts. Did you see Mizorowski's glove, by the way, with the Charizard like card embedded in it?
It looks awesome. Yeah, that's really cool.
It is really cool. I don't know Pokemon that well. Little Rumble got into Pokemon cards for a little while.
Yep.
We actually still have. We have a few that are worth a little bit. Not like how they rip. Are you into ripping packs?
I don't rip packs, no.
Do you know anyone who does? Do you know any people who are into that? Because people are into that, man.
It's a thing.
It's
a thing, yeah. And I mean, yeah, like my son, like we've done it in the past. Like Nolan's was into Pokemon, then he got into some of the sports cards, and so yeah, it was an easy gift for a long time. It was like just go and get packs of cards.
Yep.
And opening them up is just like the best moment ever. So I get it. It's fun, but yeah, I've never been deep into that world.
I've got a buddy who's opening a venue in southeastern Wisconsin. He's not a huge ripper, but he's opening like this venue with like video and podcasting and a vault where they're going to like keep people's collections and like you can come and watch rippings happen and stuff. Like this is like, I mean, I grew up, baseball cards were baseball cards. You go to you go to Walgreens, you buy a pack of baseball cards.
Seriously.
Like that was kind of
you bought a pack and like you hope there was like a piece of bubble gum in there sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Like, gum. When they had the gum in there.
That was the best.
Yeah. I threw away a $10,000 card when I was a kid and I didn't know it until now.
No.
I had a Michael Jordan, North Carolina autographed piece of the floor from the National. And I don't know what happened to it. I have no idea.
So you might not have thrown it away. It might be somewhere.
Oh, it's gone though. Like that. I mean, we're talking 20, 30 discarded.
Is there a chance a friend accidentally so I had
not really a good friend, they would tell me.
No,
they're holding on to that.
So I had
holding on to that.
One of my best friends in the world, I had a Mickey Mantle card, but it was like beat to crap. Like it was not worth much at all. But like all of a sudden one day it was missing. And then like 3 years later, I was hanging out in his room. We were just hanging out. And there's a Mickey Mantle card. I'm pretty sure that was mine,
friend.
Bro. Right.
Seriously.
Right. Yeah. Thankfully it was not like a mint condition, worth $10,000, anything like that.
Well, isn't it like what's valuable to one person and not to the other? Like especially kids.
Yeah.
There'd be like Nolan. Sometimes he'd come back and he's like, I traded this card for and I was like, why did you do that? Like you just got scammed up right there.
That happens at school all the time.
Oh, I hate that.
Like, oh, well, that card was pretty.
Yeah,
great.
I just like this one better.
Good. Way to use your Google machine and figure out what it's worth. Mace, you want to get into what some NFL teams are worth, huh? Let's
just talk about value.
Yeah, let's dive into value because it's all about value these days.
It's all about value.
This is the Mason Crosby Show.
A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook and on the free Odyssey app.
This is hour number 2 of the Mason Crosby Show. Mitch Nellis, Mason Crosby, Brandon Snide are here. High noon in far west Texas.
Maybe, yeah. Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Albuquerque, New Mexico, yeah. Have you done New Mexico?
I love New Mexico.
I've never done New Mexico, and I would love to. I know that I would love it, and I've just never made it out there.
We used to go skiing in Ruidoso all the time.
Okay. Yeah. Is that up in the mountains, like kind of in between New Mexico on your way up to Nevada, kind of?
It's right, to Colorado. Like it's on the border, basically, of New Mexico and Colorado.
Yep.
I mean, it's crazy though. From where we were in Georgetown, Texas, it was probably still a 8-hour drive, something like that, 8 or 9 hour drive.
Yeah.
It takes you 6+ hours to get out of Texas. Maybe it's crazy.
I believe that. He's Mason Crosby, Mitch Nellis, Brandon Snide with you. And if you're watching us right now, you're watching on the Growth Law video stream. You could see Mason's dad's season hat, Brandon representing the Packers, and I teach kids to hit and steal. That's what I do.
I like that.
Wondering.
I didn't see the bottom.
The only thing I don't love about it is I wish it said girls. I just wish it would say I teach girls to hit and steal, because I think there's a little extra special when you're teaching girls to hit and steal. I'm just. I don't know.
Not violence.
Just girl dad softball coach. Yeah, that's all. All right. Before we get into the NFL, I got a question for you. I got a little vent. I got to go, and we'll see 414-677-1250. We'll see if anybody is on. There's a heat advisory right now. Like, it is hot in Wisconsin. It's hot throughout the state. It's hot in southeastern Wisconsin. I click on my weather app. It is 95 degrees, feels like 98 in Hales Corners.
Jeez.
Heat advisory until tomorrow at 8 p.m. Okay. I just got a text from a softball parent. And originally the text was like, so-and-so doesn't, we're not sure. We're asking about the game tonight.
Okay.
There's a game tonight. They've been outside all day at camp. They're feeling, they're extra hot. And I'm like, we only have 9 tonight. Like we have a couple kids at camp. We have an injury. We got a broken wrist on a swing, and the girl stayed in the game.
Ow.
And then walked and stayed at first base. Like, I went running over to first base from the third base coach, and I was like, you got to come out. We need a pinch runner. She's like, no, I'm staying in.
I love it.
Like, how about that toughness?
Love you got a tough team.
She's a gamer. I know it's hot out, and I know it's summer, and so you should spend the day outside. But part of me is like, come on, we know we have a game tonight. But also listen, if you're at camp and they're outside, I want you to go have fun too. I'm really torn on this one, Mace. Bring me back to
So you're
kindness.
torn on if you should
should I give them the game? Should I give them the guilt trip that we only have 9 tonight? If you don't show, we have 8. I already know one of them is showing up in the first inning. I don't know if we can start with 7.
So the person asking is that their daughter's at camp and they're just not sure if they want to expose her to more heat.
I think maybe just got home and had and is not maybe is having some symptoms of heat illness.
Yeah, not feeling well.
Yeah,
I mean, if she's truly sick,
right? If she's really sick,
then sure. But not to discount softball as well. But if it were soccer, if it was a sport where you're exposed to the heat and running the whole time, a little bit of a different animal. And what time's the game?
Yep.
I mean,
the game's at 6.
Okay. But it should cool off a little bit. I don't know. Yeah. For me, it's if you're truly dealing with heat exhaustion, sure.
Right.
You got to protect your kid. But if it's just tired, needs a little rest, I think you need to, you got to show up for your team.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. I think there might be some actual heat illness going on. So
I had a heat illness situation after a soccer tournament when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I actually found out I had a heart murmur at the time.
Really?
From that, which fortunately aged out of it. It went away. Like,
I was going to ask, like, do they still detect anything? Or?
I mean, I told them all that when I went to call, like it just kind of, I grew out of it, which was fortunate. But I literally came home from a soccer tournament in the heat of Texas, summer heat. And I think it was like late August, early September. And like, I couldn't stay awake. I like, my parents took me to the hospital and they found a heart murmur, and I was, needed to have fluids pumped and all that stuff. But
did they need to do anything for the heart? Like, did you need to take medication or anything?
No, they just monitored. Yeah. Okay. They were just like, hey, just, so we did, discovered heart murmur. So just keep an eye out on it. And over the next couple of years, like I never had any issues with it.
All right. Now I'm going to pick on you, Mason Crosby. This is the Mason Crosby Show. And so we get to pick on each other sometimes. I feel like maybe you don't pick on me enough, but maybe you should.
I probably don't.
Yeah. Mason, I know you are you played in the NFL for a while, so you're a gentleman of means.
A gentleman, yes.
Do you have $9.6 billion lying around by chance? So we could, because if you did, actually,
if you probably borrow some and find some.
If you have 9.55, I'll come up with the rest.
Okay, you'll go get some investors.
Yeah, I'll go get some investors and we can buy an NFL team together.
That's something I was going to ask about too around this is, how do we feel about these like groups?
9.6 billion, teams? Bro. Yeah. Like getting like a whole, but like 20 different multimillionaires together. Because 9.6 billion, like there aren't a whole lot of humans who just have that lying around without putting a group together, right?
Sure. I mean, these are large groups that are, like coming together, and it's what I do with the soccer stuff, right?
Yeah,
like
it's
it's kind of the new world of sports ownership, but do we miss that time? Do we miss the time where it is just these individual owners, where it was like this, kind of established, like the organization meant something because it was owned by, by this family or by this person. But we also argue that some of these family owned teams are a disaster.
Yes.
It's like the Bengal, all these things. So it's like, I do think the quality and the product at times are like, we get more entertainment value out of these ownership group, like owned teams, because they see it differently. It's not their livelihood. It's an investment. It's something that they want to put out there and grow and do all of that. So this Seattle being sold by Paul Allen, like they're
the estate of Paul Allen. Yep.
Yeah. His estate is just like, man, that's been such a long standing, family owned, organization. So.
He bought the Seahawks in 96, 30 years ago. It became official in 97. So technically 29 years. Vinod Khosla, a minority owner of the 49ers, is now going to be the leader of this group that is buying.
Interesting.
He will have to relinquish. No, he has to relinquish. Okay. Yeah, he will have to relinquish his ownership. In the 49ers. His family will become the Seahawks controlling owner. The Seahawks went up for sale after beating the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Paul Allen's sister Jody had controlled the team as executor of the trust, with a directive from her brother to eventually sell the Seahawks and the Trailblazers and to donate the proceeds to charity.
Wow.
So we'll see.
That's pretty wild.
Khosla is the founder of Khosla Ventures, a venture capital firm. He has a net worth of $13.8 billion, according to Forbes. Khosla Ventures does. They made early stage investments in companies including OpenAI, DoorDash, and Instacart. He joined the 49ers ownership, buying 3% of a team at more that's been valued at around $8.5 billion. It's unclear who else is part of the Khosla Investors Group. $9.6 billion, which led the NFL to then, of course, you always see the memes of all the different teams and what they're valued out. And
do you say that his 3% of the Niners?
No, he was at 3%. No, the Niners were 8.5 billion. He had 3.1%.
The valuation was okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wait,
no,
that's crazy.
The last NFL franchise in 2023, the Commanders went for 6.05 billion. In 2022, the Broncos went for 4.65. All right, I'm going to say it right now. We know that if you bought a team 30 years ago for $25 million, you did a great job. Like, you won.
Yeah.
But if you bought the Broncos for $4.65 billion 4 years ago, you already made a great deal because the Seahawks are already worth double that.
You've probably just doubled. Yeah, you've doubled or a little more than doubled your investment because the Broncos, they could turn around right now and like sell it for 10.
Right.
Yeah.
The Lakers went for 10 last year. That's the highest a team has ever gone for.
That's crazy.
And so, of course, when the valuations come out like this, our Green Bay Packers valued at $6.6 billion. What is there any way to monetize any of that?
I know that's like the ed policy question, right? Like all the kind of how it's structured. It doesn't seem like there's any way to monetize that other than partnerships and like trying to just, align businesses and people with the organization where there's cash flow because I think how it's structured, you can't sell off a piece of the organization, which I don't think anyone would want that, but would you be okay with that if it was either do that or the Packers can't stay in Green Bay and the Packers have to leave?
Brandon, you got some feels on that one?
Yeah, I'd prefer to keep the Packers in Green Bay.
So you would be okay with them selling, a share, like selling
actual shares of the team,
10%,
not pieces of paper
or whatever, like actual private equity could come in and buy a part of the team to keep the team in Green Bay.
Whatever needs to be done in order to retain the Green Bay Packers in the state of Wisconsin, I think would be the right decision to make.
Yeah, I totally agree because you're not going to feel anything different if somebody has 10% or even 20. Like as long as the majority of the Packers organization is owned by the city and the public, I think it stays the same.
Somebody's asking, AJ Wheeler on YouTube is asking, can't the Packers borrow against their value like billionaires do? I assume they can. Like, you can borrow against your value if you're valued at $6.6 billion. I guess the question is like, is there enough revenue to pay back the loan if you're borrowing that money, as opposed to like, if you're worth $13 billion and you buy the team for $9 billion, you still have $4 billion. So then if you wanted to borrow against what you paid for the Seahawks, like you have other methods of revenue as opposed to the Packers who just have the Packers as revenue.
He's not putting $9 billion.
No, right. Exactly.
Yeah. Like if he's raised the money, like he has a capital group that is going and buying the Seahawks. He's just going to manage it. Like the Seahawks now are his new capital investment group or a fund that he's gonna funnel money into. I don't know what his exact number is going to be in that, but I mean, guys like that, someone that has $13 billion is not putting $9 billion into a sports franchise.
But can the Packers borrow against their value? If the Packers,
I don't know.
Like if they went to the bank and said, listen, we've been valued at $6.6 billion. Can we borrow $600 million for this or could we borrow? I mean, I don't even know. Like, I don't know that they need to. AJ says they get a check. I mean, they get a check from $400 million from the NFL every year anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So I don't know that they even need to borrow money. And what would you borrow money? Are you borrowing money for stadium improvements, or are you borrowing money to disperse to the citizens of Green Bay? Like,
I don't know what what you would like say you're borrowing money for, because.
And I guess that's where the selling, like if they sold 10% of their team and so if they're worth $6.6 billion, they get $660 million. Could they then take that $660 million and spread it out to the 130,000 residents of Green Bay, and all of a sudden everybody gets a payment, and that's like,
I guess could
the Packers do that?
What would be the point of that, though?
Just to thank the citizens of Green Bay because it is supposed to be a community-owned team. And is everyone?
It would be a nice gesture.
Is everyone in Green Bay getting rich because the Packers are there? Is every citizen of Green Bay getting rich because the Packers are there? I don't think they are.
Make the city of Green Bay this.
And if they are the real owners, if they're the real owners of the Green Bay Packers, if it's really owned by the city, shouldn't they? I think the only
issue it sounds like with ed policy and with the Packers is if this broadcasting act gets abolished and is no longer exist, the amount of revenue they would lose because of the local revenue and not being able to compete with some of the bigger markets.
Right.
That would be a big issue. But like, does that would that eliminate then this revenue share of the $400 million? I feel like they would still get that. Like, so
I think they would.
Where, like, what do they need to, like, what else do they need for operating? Because that covers salaries, covers all the stuff. It's just they just want to have a treasure chest of like cash, so that if anything catastrophic happens, the stadium collapses. I guess I don't fully understand the mindset there, but in a business sense, you just want to have 5 to 10 years of reserve in case something crazy happens.
Yeah,
like, I think that's the mindset. So I don't know. I don't see a world where Green Bay doesn't, just continue to make money and like have success and like be able to cover all the expenses and the costs that they need to keep the team there in Green Bay. But I guess crazier things have happened in this world. But yeah, I don't know. It's
920 hypothetical. If the Packers sold, would the shareholders see any money?
No,
not
it
the people.
Literally on the on the sheet says
it is donation stock.
Yeah,
it is not real stock.
Exactly.
It is donation stock.
So again, them raising money and getting more into their bank account. Like, where does it go? It just goes right back into the team. It just goes right back into facilities and doing things, around the city. Would they just take that $600 million and buy up more property and just like add to the Lambeau Field, the Titletown district?
Right. 262 writes in, Nick Laylaw talking text line 414-677-1250. I just learned yesterday that you can buy actual stock in the Atlanta Braves. They didn't write a question mark. They wrote, but I'm putting a question mark on that. Can you actually buy stock in the Atlanta Braves
if it's owned by like a group and things like that? Sure. Right. Like, yeah. I mean, it's like,
now you buying stock in the Braves, or you buying stock in the company that owns the Braves?
You're buying stock in the company,
right?
Yeah, like you would invest in the fund, and you would be a minority owner.
Yeah. Could you buy 50% of it and all of a sudden have a corporate takeover and take over the Braves? I'm sure they have protections.
I'm sure there's protections.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
So I'm on their website right now, and the question is, in the frequently asked questions, how do I purchase Atlanta Braves stock? And the answer is the Atlanta Braves holding has no direct stock purchase plan. You can purchase our common stock through a broker.
Okay.
Yeah, so
all right. Yeah. So
that answers that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just like the soccer teams I'm involved in. Like it's. We have a group that's set up. So it's like, and then we have teams underneath that group where we have a majority ownership stake through our group. Right. And then you just have a ownership percentage within the group. Right. So somebody can come in and, there's a set dollar amount that is the minimum to buy into the group. And then it gives you a percentage of ownership in that group and in those teams. So.
Why can't we go back in time 40 years and buy like 7 sports teams?
Gosh, just like, have you seen that? So like with the World Cup going on, David Beckham has been everywhere.
Yeah.
Like
I've seen him.
Kind of getting a little tired of it, honestly. But they said like his like vision of when he came to the MLS. Mm-hmm. So he's playing for Real Madrid, making 18 to 20 million a year in salary and all of that. He took a huge pay cut to play for the LA Galaxy.
Right.
But they gave him a percentage ownership in the team and the MLS to grow the business, to do all of this. And they wrote in his contract that he would have the option to buy an expansion team when that came available for $25 million.
Okay.
So Miami is that team. He buys Miami FC for $25 million. It is now worth $1.2 billion.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. So like
that's a good investment.
I still don't understand the MLS valuation of these teams.
Yeah.
Like they are insane.
Yeah. I'm not buying Miami for $1.2 billion.
They sold Chelsea. Chelsea was sold over in England in 2000. I think it was like 2008 or something like that. 2006 for like 140 million pounds. Like it's probably worth 1.2 billion now, like or more. Like it's crazy the valuation of these teams overall, like over these years. But it's been that marketing, that foresight, the TV revenue, like just how they built these things up, that it's just gotten like it's I can't imagine like them going any further. Like our teams are going to be worth $50 billion at some point. Like it's wild to imagine where this is going to go, and if there's ever going to be a cap on it. I every time I go to this and I think like, all right, Seattle Seahawks just got, we're sold. Like, what happens to the Cowboys when Jerry Jones passes away? Like, is there a tax on that? Like, is there an estate tax?
Who owns the team?
Yeah,
does Jerry Jones own the team, or does he have it in an LLC?
If he has it in a trust, set up in a way.
Public service message. No one should own real estate. Put all your houses, put everything into an LLC. Don't let the government steal your money.
That's great. Yeah.
Is that illegal? Like, is that okay? Am I a financial advisor now? I'm not a financial advisor.
Not a financial.
I don't pay one on TV. Do your due diligence. Do your research. Don't take my word for it, but I might be right on this one.
Plenty of law firms that represent,
exactly.
Who know
what they're doing.
We have on the call here.
Right.
It's like we got all of them covered here.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So Seahawks go for 9.6.
What do you think the Cowboys would sell for right now?
12?
Gosh, at least.
I think they are number one in America.
But I think
any sport.
if Jerry Jones,
any sport.
Honestly, if he just said right now, I think right now, if Jerry Jones said, "Hey, I'm selling the Cowboys,"
15.
I think he would set 15. Would be like,
I think he could get 15. Number. I think even if they're valued at 12, I think somebody.
Sure.
I think there's a bidding war, and I think it get up to 15.
Because no one would expect, like they'd just be like, "No way!" Right. Like they're like this was ever going to happen. So he could just set that number and say it's 15 or 20, and like it's going to be worth 50 in 20 years. So
according to Forbes, Mitch, you'd be correct. You're close to 15 right now. Forbes, they have their top 5 estimates right now.
Okay.
Some of these are factual. Some of these are not. The Dallas Cowboys at 13 billion.
Yep.
This one is a little surprising. This is the Steph Curry effect. Golden State, the second most.
Well, I think part of that is they own their arena. Yep. They own the land. And land in the Bay Area is worth hundreds of millions easy.
$11 billion. The Rams in third at $10.5 billion.
Land in LA.
The New York Giants at number 4 at 10.1.
Yeah.
Do the Giants own the Meadowlands? Do the Jets rent from the Giants? They might.
They might. To. The Lakers are at number 5. You mentioned the Lakers at 10.
And they went for 10 last year. So that makes sense.
Yep.
414-677-1250. Your thoughts on all of this. We've got the semifinals of the World Cup about to kick off. That's exciting for some people. We've got Tyler Hero saying he wants to just bury everything with Bam and move on. Let's talk about when ex-teammates fight, whether verbally or physically.
Yikes.
I'm sure Mason Crosby's never gotten into a fight with Ryan Longwell ever.
I haven't. No,
I know.
That's true.
That's what I was saying.
I know.
You guys are kickers.
We could have on the golf course.
Oh, that would have been great.
No, he's too nice.
This is the Mason Crosby Show. here I am. Rock me like a hurricane. This is the Mason Crosby Show. Mitch Nellis, Brandon Snide, and Mason Crosby here. What's up, Mace? You look like you got something on your mind as you took a drink of water.
I was just looking at the matchup against France and Spain.
Yeah.
So,
I
just kind of get my mind right.
So my question about that, and obviously we could talk soccer and what's going to happen, but my question is like, it's still an event that's happening. It's this one's in Dallas, so Jerry Jones and Steven will probably be there. How do Americans approach an international event when it's on our home soil? Like if France and Spain were playing in France or Spain, hardcore soccer heads would be watching.
Sure.
I and casual soccer fans maybe would find out who won.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh,
you'd be interested in the highlights.
They played last year and it was 5-4, and that's high scoring, and it probably won't be 5-4 today. But now it's a little different because it's here and it's at 2:00, so that it's in prime time in Europe, and that makes sense. But it's at 2 p.m. on a weekday in America, which is a little weird. So take your I love soccer hat off and put on your I'm an American football, baseball, basketball fan hat on. How do we approach when an international event without U.S. involvement is being held in America?
In my mind, it's like you just appreciate like the worldview of it, right?
Okay.
It's just the excitement, the energy, seeing the difference in culture and like what that brings, right? And I think it's just been so awesome to see like all these cultures, this melting pot coming to the U.S. and seeing all the different spots in our country, and the good, the bad, like everything that like goes on, and
all the
and
fans
then just hearing
drinking
the stories,
all the beer.
And
Love
we just
that.
see,
ranch
we just
dressing.
the ranch, like we're seeing these unique differences, and I think that's so awesome, and like why the game's probably at 2:00 here in the U.S. is because internationally everyone can watch it. Like that's 8, 9, 10 o'clock there in France, Spain, and so they want to make sure that those countries are able to watch their teams play, and they're not having to get up at 2 a.m. Which sometimes whenever this thing's across the globe, like if this thing is happening in I guess whenever it's in Europe at the next World Cup, like it's still probably the same time. I think they just kind of they'll play a lot of night games over there, so that us in America, we can watch
and Mexico
watch
and South America.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're watching in the middle of the day.
So that makes sense.
I think they just I think for us, like anyone that's a casual fan of soccer, just appreciate like what it is globally. Just enjoy the moment, watch the highlights, watch some fantastic athleticism on display whenever somebody does something ridiculous. But if you're not a diehard soccer fan, watching a full game against teams that you have no rooting interest in might not be that exciting for you. You're going to be like, I don't understand what is happening most of the time. But then some amazing moment is going to get on ESPN. It's going to get a highlight take and go and just appreciate what that is. Like, that's like me watching. I'm not a huge hockey fan. I like watching occasionally, but when something awesome happens in hockey, I want to see it. Like a big hit or an awesome goal. It's like,
especially in the playoffs,
I'm going to sit down and watch it. Yeah.
To Mason's point, cool. Soccer has taken over our neighborhood.
Really?
It's taken over like the World Cup.
Tell me about it.
So it is for the longest time always been mostly the big three. Like the neighborhood, we live in a big neighborhood with a bunch of school-age kids. My son kind of is the centerpiece of it and gathers everybody in our yard, and they play basketball and they play football and they play baseball, and it has turned into Mason and Mitch World Cup like centerpiece of everybody's day. So we have a essentially a second living room built in our garage, and they were gathering. It was Argentina, and who was the team Argentina just played? It went late at night. It was like 10:30. They played extra
Switzerland?
time. That's it. Switzerland.
Okay.
Yes, you'd be correct. Yep. And so like I walked out in the garage, Mason, and it was, I think it was a Sunday night. Maybe it was a Saturday night or something. And it's like 10:15 at night, and I had like 13 kids gathered around the TV watching the World Cup. And then really cool. Later on the next day, they're out. They have a goal that they purchased or they brought from somebody's house, and they're having a pickup soccer game, like full out neighborhood
soccer players.
And then I found myself, we had a volleyball tune-up yesterday that we dropped our daughters off to, I found myself at the Adidas outlet store down in Pleasant Prairie getting my son a Messi Argentina jersey. So it has, I'm telling you,
full blown.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gotten to that point. He wants, Ronaldo's another one. I'm not against it. I have a lot of respect for the game, but it's cool.
Well, again,
man. It's taking
Messi,
over.
Yeah.
Like some of these guys too that are international superstars.
They are.
And they are choosing, they're coming to the United States and they're growing the game through the MLS. Like they are, taking what they've learned and what they've experienced in like their world, and they're bringing it over here, and they're embracing American culture, and they're embracing like what it is to play in America. Mm-hmm. I had the same experience. I had a buddy grew up with, he texted me before the last USA game. Okay. And he was like, I never understood. I hated soccer. I never understood why you played, like why this was so big and important. And he's like, but with this World Cup here in the United States, I am fully bought in now. Like I'm like, I am locked in and going. He coaches high school football in Texas. Like he is a football through and through.
He's a football Texas
basketball
guy.
Yeah. And he's like, I can't get enough of it. And it's like, I think that's
crazy.
That is happening, across this country in a lot of different pockets.
Isn't that what you want to see though, Mitch? Don't you want to see like the expansion? You want to see Team USA in 4 years and take another step, right? I think they took a few back. They've obviously taken.
Well, we're disappointed, but if you look at this team, I mean, they are young,
right?
I mean, they like Pulisic's going to be 31 in the net. Like that's still fairly young, and he's one of the oldest guys.
As long as he doesn't suck.
You got Freeman at 21. You got you have like this team is going to be actually in its prime in the next World Cup. So like they did a lot of good things.
I hope so.
Next World Cup, they need to take a big step, or we're going to have we will have some big questions.
Well, we're going to, then I will guarantee you there'll be big questions right now because the big step's not happening. It's just not. All right, Mason, riddle me this.
Okay.
Ticket to get into Dallas today. France, Spain. $1,334.
Not bad.
So $1,300.
Yeah.
Ticket to get into Atlanta tomorrow. England, Argentina. Basically double.
Yeah.
Right around $2,500. Does that fall?
That doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
Is that England or is that England and Argentina?
It's Argentina. It's
Argentina.
Messi.
Okay.
Honestly, I think it's Messi. Like Messi in the United States because he's garnered such a huge fan base of his time playing there in Miami.
Yep.
In the MLS that like he has a huge following. I mean, Brandon just said he went and bought a Messi jersey for his son. Like you could have chosen anyone. Mbappe, like. Yamal for Spain is a huge international star and a young kid. Like he's 19 years old, but Messi just drives it forward. And so Messi being in the semifinals, Messi, if he's in the finals, like if Messi gets in the finals, that number doubles for those tickets. If it's England, France, like I think those prices come down just a little bit there in New York. If it's Argentina in that final, it's those prices are going to go up 30%.
Mason, who would you compare Messi to as far as like the NFL? And I know that isn't really fair because it's not an international. I mean, it's going international. I mean, essentially it is international, but they obviously don't play, they don't come over. We don't, go over there to play another NFL leagues and like they do with the MLS and international game. Who would you compare like a former NFL player, current NFL player to what Messi is? Because my son a month ago, Mason, didn't really care or even know who Messi is, and now he has a number 10 jersey.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a good question. The NFL is just so different.
It is tough. It's probably
you got to look at a quarterback. I don't know. It's like, but I compare it a little bit. Maybe if we just want to go to Packer fandom, like it's a fandom thing, right? Like when away teams want the Packers, they want them on their schedule. Like you want the Packers to come play you on your home turf because those ticket prices are going to double. Like if the Packers are playing in Jacksonville's pumped because they know they are going to sell that stadium out and they are going to get the highest ticket price they possibly can. If Jacksonville's playing, if they're playing anyone else, if they're playing if Carolina's coming to Jacksonville, they're giving away tickets, right? So I think it's probably more in line with that, where that's
fair.
It's just Messi being involved in that game is going to up that price. It's going to up the attention. it's going to make it more exciting. He can affect a game in a way that like maybe not, an individual NFL player can't all the time. But you got to look at it like it's Tom Brady, it's Brett Favre, it's that energy. It's Patrick Mahomes, it's Josh Allen. It's those types of guys where it's like when you show up, you are going to draw more attention. That's the Messi effect. It's Michael Jordan. It's Michael Jordan in his prime. It's that kind of thing. And this could be a Messi farewell tour, right? Like there's a high likelihood. I mean, it'd be crazy to think that he plays in another World Cup. Mm-hmm. So I think everybody's like, this could be the last time we get to see Messi play in a World Cup and an international level. So it's like, it's Michael Jordan at the end of his run. It's all these superstars getting their last show.
Jeff in Germantown writes in, no rooting interest in soccer can easily turn into rooting interest with a little cash on the result. I think the increase in sports betting has helped the interest in the games this year. Do you think there's some truth to that?
I'm sure that does. Yeah. I mean, I think
accessible,
that's driven everything.
Right. Whether it's Prize Picks or Underdog or FanDuel or all the different apps, how accessible sports get, whether it's on the result or Messi over under half a goal on a game or whatever it might be.
I just remember the jump even whenever it was fantasy football.
Yeah.
Like whenever it was all of a sudden it became less volatile at away games whenever fantasy football became just a ever prevalent thing in our lives, because somebody would be like, they would be heckling me, but they're also like, hey, you're on my fantasy team.
Yeah.
I want you to make all your kicks, but I want y'all to lose.
Yes,
right.
That's right.
So I felt like sometimes I'd go to an away game and I'd have that conversation with somebody like by my net whenever I'm kicking. They're just like, hey, I hope y'all lose. So like they're crushing our team, but they're just like, make all your kicks. You're on my fantasy team.
That's exactly right.
So that was always an interesting dynamic.
Right. So my next question for you is, everyone has a Messi jersey, and there's a lot of Ronaldo jerseys. There's Mbappe. There's some Kane, though not as much. If I wanted to get a jersey that wasn't one of the obvious international superstars, who would I? And it doesn't have to be America. It could be anyone from around the world. Like, is there someone else that is maybe up and coming or maybe has made an impact? Is there I know Jude Bellingham just like is like the new, I love Jude. Like that'd be pretty cool.
Jude Bellingham's like, he's that guy. Watch England play.
Yep.
And that guy, like he literally would die on that field for his team and his country. And like that kind of stuff is awesome. I would get a Jude Bellingham jersey. And that's my thing. I want to hate England so bad, but I actually really like watching them play. Like I feel like they sell out for each other. They're kind of one of those teams where I'm like, gosh, I want to hate them so much, but I really actually like watching them play.
That's funny.
So does that's even Harry Kane. Like I am not a Harry Kane fan.
No, you shouldn't be.
And I don't like his style of play, but the dude doesn't leave the field and he works his tail off.
Yeah.
A random jersey of someone
who's like good and maybe going to get better. Like who's
like a Christian Watson equivalent?
Ooh, I like that.
Like up and coming,
gonna be. Yeah, you love Christian Watson so much.
God, I don't know. That's a great question.
Well,
I got to think about it.
And we'll get to Mason's extra points, and maybe you'll think of it. If not, you'll have it the next couple of days. You got a long drive coming up, so you got a lot of time to think.
I got a lot of time to think. Yeah.
He's Brandon Snide. I'm Mitch Nellis. He is the kicker, Mason Crosby. We are the Mason Crosby Show.
What's on Mason Crosby's mind today?
Now I'm thinking.
It's time for Extra Points, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis.
Tell me what's on your mind.
On the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
All right. Thanks for listening to the Mason Crosby Show here on this Tuesday. We'll be running it back again tomorrow after my road trip. Mitch, I was thinking in the break. So I was thinking for you in particular.
Okay.
South Korea actually wears some purple jerseys at
Sure,
times.
yeah.
So,
you know me, I'm a purple guy. Yeah.
And so I was thinking more of a Kim Min Jae.
Okay.
They nicknamed the Monster.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that'd be a unique one for you.
Yeah.
If you repped a South Korean jersey. But if you're looking for some up and coming USA soccer players, I also was looking at that.
Mm-hmm.
There's an interesting one, a 16-year-old Kevin Sullivan. So I would expect him to, be on this U.S. team there in the 2030.
Okay.
Because he should be going to Man City here in a year or two. And if he ends up getting in that Man City squad and actually getting some playing time, could be one of the best young prospects that this USA's produced in a long time. So keep an eye out for Kevin Sullivan.
Man City, though.
I don't like Man City for sure, but if he actually gets on that squad and gets on that first team, that means that he's elite and he will be one of those guys. So
born in Philly, is a Philly guy.
Yeah, you might not like him.
Yeah. I don't know. As long as he's got the attitude, he's eligible. So he's actually eligible to represent Germany, the United States, and Bangladesh.
Oh, nice.
As in his international career based on his heritage. So, yeah. All right, I'll keep an eye out for Sully.
All right,
Sully, let's go, Sully.
Do you like attacking or defending? Who would you support more, attacking players or defenders?
Probably attacking.
Okay.
Although I understand the importance of a great defender.
So then look at also watch out for Julian Hall.
Julian Hall.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he gets moved overseas and gets on like a squad over there, that'd be a guy too that could be kind of a good 1-2 with Balogun up top. So
New York.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a native New Yorker.
Red Bulls.
Yeah. All right. U.S. and Poland. He could play for Poland.
What's nice there is like those Red Bull teams, they have multiple squad. Like they have teams over in Europe as well, like the Freiburg.
Yeah.
So he could go to Germany at some point.
Okay.
Through that line. Yeah.
All right. So all-star game tonight, Mace. And I know you'll be on the road, so you'll just have it you'll check in on the phone or whatever it is. No Miz. We got Wild Bill as the only Milwaukee Brewers representative in the game. I'm sure he'll get a few innings in, as the catchers do. I mean, to me, the all-star game is fun. And if there's if they can manufacture 2 or 3 fun moments, and whether it's, former teammates facing off against each other.
Do you like seeing it being taken super serious, or do you want to see them doing some trying to do some fun things?
I want to see some fun things.
Okay.
Now, if it gets to the 7th, 8th inning and it's tied, I want to see somebody win the game.
Okay.
I don't want to see a tie like we saw here in Milwaukee 100 years ago. But I take it a little seriously. You're not going to go out and lob the ball. The pitchers are going to pitch and the fielders are going to make the plays. So it does resemble a real baseball game. But I want the players to not take it too seriously. I still want that, because when they're having fun, kind of like Miz last year in the game, he's laughing and smiling. I want smiles. I want them to look like they're enjoying themselves, because because that's part of the fun of the sport, right? Is to see guys.
It's an all-star break, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Take a break.
Yeah. I don't really care for the national. I know the Brewers are in the National League, but I don't really care. I don't care. I'm not.
Well, were you not a fan of Sean Taylor back in the day in the NFL?
Who took it a little too seriously?
Well, I mean, that was the cheap shot on the punter.
Right. You can't do that,
bro. Relax.
Yeah, you can't do that.
That doesn't make you a man.
All right, Mace, drive safely.
All right, guys.
Tell the kids to buckle up and
we'll
shut
do it
their
again
mouths.
We'll do it again tomorrow, and I'll be in Green Bay.
Yeah,
so
I can't wait. All those P stops.
Oh, gosh. I'm preparing my mind.
This is the Mason Crosby Show.